The Infected's AI is, well, it's a mess. It's outdated and clunky, and although they're not the biggest part of DayZ, they're enough of a part to make it matter. And here I'll discuss exactly what they're doing about it, if anything, what the devs have just said, and a bunch of other information you should definitely know. If you liked the video, please leave a like or a subscribe, it really helps me out. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Yeah, in this room, definitely. Bye. So this video was inspired by two things. The first one was the devs have just spoken about AI and told us exactly what they plan to do. The second is this fabulous comment I received. It said, "Another deadbeat streamer ignoring the real issue. Always streams, if that's even your name," shaking my head. "You and other streamers just ignore the RA issues and yap about other things. Tell them to fix the fucking RA already," shaking my head. They said they would. Where is it? Where is it? Firstly, no, my real name is in fact not Always Streams, and I apologize for anyone who thought my mother was a crack whore. Secondly, let's explore. The infected AI in DayZ has been a topic of frustration and debate for years. To be fair, it's not exactly cutting edge. After all, it hasn't seen any significant updates in nearly a decade. The infected are notoriously clunky, often sprinting in weird ways that look more like a glitchy animation reel than a tactical maneuver. They'll sometimes ignore obstacles altogether or get stuck in simple terrain, which can break immersion in tense moments. I don't think anyone, myself included, or even the devs are praising the infected's AI. So before we talk about what they're doing, let's answer the question, if even the devs aren't entirely happy with them, why haven't they just fixed them? Well, fixing the AI in DayZ is a complex challenge because of how intricate the system is with regards to AI in general. AI is not just another one of DayZ's mechanics, it's basically a whole bunch of mechanics grouped together to form one single mechanic, and it's extremely complicated, often requiring specialized knowledge to even moderately adjust. And so it's risky because improving the infected's behavior can easily break other systems, such as their interactions with terrain, doors, or even other wildlife like bears and wolves, who have their own independent AI as well, leading to strange and unintended results. It's not as simple as if person does this, do that. You're essentially trying to simulate a brain that has to respond to multiple variables. So they could easily ruin the balance of the game, because although we want the infected to be a genuine threat, we also don't want them to be so strong that they overshadow players. They still need to feel like mindless infected and not NPCs capable of actual strategy. But even when changes have been made, players have a history of voicing frustration. Past updates that made the infected supposedly harder for some people caused widespread complaints, and a lot of people were even refusing to play until they, and I quote, "fixed the infected." There's some irony for you. But it can be done. In an interview in 87.8 Survivor FM, which by the way covered so many things from DayZ 2 to base building to buying mods and so much more. It's just a really good interview. You should definitely check it out if you want to know anything about DayZ. But with regards to the infected, this is what DayZ's project lead said.
We are still looking into changes to that, but
that's good to hear.
First, it's not that easy because we need to consider the general impact on all players. If we change in a way that there will be like a real danger and huge obstacle to players, it will be great for veteran players. It can really kill potential to get new players because the response will be just obliterated.
So I'm going to pause this here a moment before I continue it, but basically what he's saying is their simplicity isn't always a downfall. It's the new players that keep this game financed, because it's not exactly flushed with DLC. You buy the game once and then you've got thousands of hours you can put into it. You never have to contribute to it financially again, which is a problem obviously, because without money you can't work on the game. So this sort of raises an important question I'd like you to answer, which is, would you rather have more DLCs financially supporting the game if things like AI and base building were to be improved overall on a much higher scale, or would you rather have the free updates for years where they slowly improve the game but you don't have to buy any DLC?
The changes to AI are somewhat specific, and I still remember very well our experience back then in 2012-13 on Career Command, where the programmer who was responsible for AI left the company, and the AI really went to quite unwell state, and we were spending a huge amount of time trying to fix it because there wasn't proper replacement for the person. That's also something that is related to specialization of some developers, because AI is not an easy subject, so it takes time. Again, we want to know that we can do such thing properly, otherwise we are not gonna change it and possibly make it worse.
Talus then went on to describe how they are trying to mess about with the AI and improve it, but when they've done it in the past, it hasn't really improved the gameplay, it's just changed it, and in some instances made it way more frustrating. But he did say they were still looking into changes, which means this is an ongoing fix. If we made them too difficult or a lot smarter, it would absolutely destroy accessibility for new players, and realistically, even this issue could be easily tackled with a method they've already somewhat explored and is already in the game. Right now we have several variants of infected, and the deeper inland you go, the harder they supposedly become. So they could utilize this more, leaving the coastal infected as they are, which is a bit stupid, but adding updated animations, attacks and pathfinding to classes such as the military infected or even the police. DayZ is such an incredibly strong game that offers some things that other games don't offer. It gives you a blank canvas and tells you to paint your own story, and although most of my stories are finger painted, they're still my stories and everybody has their own. So to have your immersion broken by what is the same infected in the same way with the same approach is a little bit disheartening. But what are your thoughts? Is this issue just being blown out of proportion, or is it a genuine concern? And to watch that interview, which has so many questions answered and so much about DayZ and its future, click here. Or for something else me related, click here. And as always, until next time.